Hello, my name is Emily Rose, and I am a professional Lenormand and tarot reader. And today we are here with your November forecast. Now, if you are coming to this video and it is not in the month of November, that is okay. You are still drawn to this video for a reason. So just take this as a message that you need to hear right now. Let's go ahead and dig into our cards for the month. So remember that all the futures that we're going to talk about here today are all possible futures. If there is something that you are not resonating with that appears in the reading, there is almost always a way to change it, and that's because I'm only asking the cards for information that is helpful and also in your best and highest good. Remember that you are ultimately in control of the decisions that you make, and a reading on YouTube cannot dictate what you do, okay? You are ultimately in charge of your own decisions. Please feel free to combine your own intuition and judgment for best results for this reading. So the first thing I would like you to do is to select the pile that is calling most to you. The first pile we have here is called the Frozen Petal pile, and that is represented by the Selenite that we have here. The second pile that we have is our dirt digging pile, and that is represented by this plain old rock found by the coast. And our third pile, last but not least, is our sun basking pile, and that is represented by our Carnelian stone here. So take a moment, take a deep breath, and select the pile that is calling most to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our selenite pile, otherwise known as our frozen petal pile. So the vision that I got before I pulled any cards, and I promise I got this vision before I pulled any cards, I saw petals falling off of a flower and they cascaded down to a frozen lake, and they kind of turned into these icy crystallized type thing. And the entire vision really felt suspended in time. And it really felt like we were going to be in this vision forever, but there was a sense of knowing that the ice would eventually melt and everything would be different when it did. So that was the vision for the frozen petal pile before I pulled any cards. And here is what I pulled. So let's start with our Lenormand cards here. And we have the lilies, the clouds, the dog, and the mice. What I'm getting from this is that there is this anxiety and this doubt surrounding things just kind of being stagnant. There's nothing exactly negative happening here, but because there isn't any momentum going on, there is some doubt that we are on the right path at this time. But we also kind of have we've probably made a commitment of some kind, or we have promised that we are going to kind of stay faithful or stay present with the plans that are currently happening, or with this waiting period that we're in. And this causes some anxiety, but it feels like the decision has already been made to kind of stick this time period out, and that is causing some doubt and anxiety when it comes to the plan. So let's go ahead and look at our tarot cards that we have here and see what advice they have for us this month. So the first card we have here is the Star, and the Star is really about hope, and it's asking you to remember why you're in the situation you're in to begin with. What is the overarching goal? What are you hoping to accomplish? And it's also asking you to have some hope at this time that you will get to your ultimate goal and that you are in pursuit of, consciousness evolution. And this time period that you're in is necessary for that. The second card we have here is the World. And this is, kind of building off of the Star. These are some big mama cards we're getting here. And really what it's saying is this time period is really necessary for your evolution in consciousness, for what it is that you're trying to pursue, for your ultimate goals. And even though it may feel like things are a little bit stagnant or stale right now, and there's kind of playing the waiting game a little bit, these two major arcana cards are telling you you are on your path. You are doing the right thing right now, even though it feels really challenging. And this is in pursuit of your ultimate goals. And the last card we have here is the Six of Swords. Now, when it comes to the vision, remember, this was our frozen petal pile. So things are frozen for a time period, but winter eventually ends, right? Things that have been frozen will unthaw. So what this is saying is that there will be a time where you will move on. It wants to assure you of that. This is at the end here, and what's important for you to know that this time period will end and you will sail to unknown but better waters. And even though this time feels very uncertain and a little confusing, it's important to know that you are on your path and that your waiting is not in vain, okay? So if you feel like you're just kind of hanging out in this liminal space, this kind of in-between period, it's okay. You will eventually move on. You are on the right path. The next pile we have here is just represented by our plain old beach rock that we have here that was just found at the coast. And this is our dirt digging pile. Now, to talk about what it is that I saw before I pulled cards, I saw a person putting a lot of effort into digging into frozen or cold ground, and it was hard work. It looked like they were really struggling with it. And what they were actually digging up wasn't some kind of precious stone or metal or something like that. They were just churning the earth, and they were getting minerals and nutrients, and there was this positive energy surrounding what they were doing, even though it didn't really look like it to the person who was digging. They were getting more and more frustrated because the ground is cold and frozen. It's really hard to dig, and they seemed like they weren't getting far, but they were getting what was needed. And there was a lot of frustration and anger, but it was clear they were getting somewhere and they were getting what they needed for the time being, even if they couldn't see it. And so here are the Lenormand cards for this spread. And we have the whip, the tree, and the cross. So like I said, there's a lot of hard work going on, and it's in pursuit of growth. There is a lot of growth happening now, but it is extremely challenging and feeling like it's a burden. This is necessary growth though. The cross also shows that this is work that we may just need to do, but it's hard and it's challenging. So you are in a period of self-development. You may feel like you're not getting very far, but you do have this growth that's happening. It's just very challenging. So if you find yourself in a situation where maybe you're really toughing things out, maybe you're in school and taking a really hard class and really growing from it, or maybe you're taking on a tough project at work or have something difficult going on with family, whatever it may be, the difficult situation you're in right now, you're putting a lot of hard work in, but it's work that you need to be doing for growth, and you are getting something out of it, even if it doesn't feel like it at this time. So now let's look at our tarot cards, which will help us this month. And the first one we have is the Ace of Cups reversed. So it's clearly saying that it's important to ensure that you are nurturing your soul during this time, because through this hard work, because this work is incredibly difficult. Even if doing something seemingly frivolous brings you joy right now, do it. Nothing is actually frivolous if it brings you joy, okay? So you need to do what you can to find some joy at this moment, and you need to fill up your cup. Your cup's upside down right now. So it's important to fill this up and make sure you are fulfilled. The next card we got here is the Six of Coins reversed. And the thing is you are just doing and doing and doing right now. And it may not feel like you're getting anything out of what you're putting in, or it's very one-sided. And you may be expecting some give back from people at this time, and it's just not feeling like it's happening. What it is important to know though, like we saw in the vision with, there's nutrients and minerals in the dirt that we don't even see that we might need that can fertilize something later. That is what's happening right now for you. So even though it may not feel like you're getting anything in return, you will be rewarded for this work that you're doing. And it's another sign to take care of yourself, because you might not feel like others are taking care of you right now. And then this can kind of harvest some resentment. So it's important to take care of yourself at this time. You need to be your own best caretaker, and know that you will get reward for what you are doing. And lastly, this is what the tarot really wants you to know at this time. We have the Ten of Wands reversed. So you will reach a point where it's time to stop digging, and it's time to get others to help you. So after a little bit of time, begin to delegate what you can. Put down the wands that you can put down. You don't need to carry this cross everywhere you go. You will be able to put it down, and it's important to know when that point is. You are getting something out of this work now, but this work is very strenuous and difficult, and you won't be able to do it forever on your own. So welcome others in when it is time. And know that you don't have to dig alone. You can also simply wait for the seasons to change as well and dig when it's a little bit easier. But I do think it's important to continue the work you're doing now. Just know when you are getting burned out, and allow yourself to accept help when that time comes. And last, but certainly not least, we have our Carnelian pile, which is our sun basking pile, okay? So let me talk you through this vision. I saw the sun peek through clouds, and it was just this little sliver, but this little sliver of sunlight, it truly warmed and nurtured the person that was in the vision. So if you selected the sun basking pile, that person is you. And there was this beautiful smile on your face, and you were just feeling the ground, which had clovers on it and, lush, beautiful grass, and you just felt rejuvenated. So that's the vision I got. Now let's look at our Lenormand cards. And this is what I mean, guys. I promise I did the vision and then I pulled the cards. And the Lenormand cards I got were the sun for the sun basking folks, and the lilies. I only pulled 2 cards for this one because I was just feeling 2. And the message from this is very clear. Enjoy this moment that you're in. Bask in the sunshine. This is literally what that means. It's relaxing in the light that you have worked so hard to create. And this is a moment in time where it's time to revel in it. This isn't really a time to push ahead and do all the things. This is a time to enjoy where you are and bask in that sunshine. Now let's take a look at our tarot cards here that are going to help us out this month for our sun basking folks. And the first card is the Magician. So this is saying that you have manifested this moment. Take this time to conjure energy and work on your thoughts. Your thoughts are how you create magic in this world. So really watch what's going on in your mind and ask yourself the question, what reality do you want to continue to create? And this isn't a time to necessarily act on that. This is a time to simply be and work on your thoughts. Our next card is the Fountain. Now this card is specific to the Fountain Tarot, so you won't find this in every deck, obviously, but the Fountain is telling you that this is a time to also connect to source energy. You may be able to type in psychically or intuitively at this time, and you are divinely connected. That sunlight coming through, that peak of sunlight is the divine. So it's important that you take this time to connect. So whatever means helps you connect. If you are you like to walk and meditate, you're a walking meditator, do that. If you just like to simply sit in the morning, drink your coffee, close your eyes, do that. Whatever little divine moments you can find right now where you can connect and ask for messages from source, whatever you believe, spirit, God, anything like that. Make sure to try to connect this month because you have some magic energy, as you can see, coming through. And last but not least, you have the Four of Wands. And this is what's important to know. This is just a joyful, happy card. Truly soak up this time frame that you're in, and you have more that's going to be coming up in the near future, but take this little slice of time and treasure it. It really is a beautiful time for you, and it is only beautiful though if you allow yourself time to soak this up, if you give yourself permission to not take a step forward right now, but instead to work on your thoughts and rejuvenate. You're gonna need to conjure energy at this time for what you're going to do in the future. So that's your job this month for our sun basking folks. So there you have your November forecast. If you would like to learn more about some of the cards you saw here, I do have a totally free Lenormand mini course, which you can take at emilyrosedivination.com/mini course. And inside of this course, you will find 3 lessons, and you will also get a workbook that goes along with it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a beautiful month.